Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Powell. I was just compelled to make this short video about cultivating safety in order to become more powerful and to grow in a way that serves our greatness and who we're meant to be in our highest potential and all of that, all the things we really want. Because it's a huge part of my work and it's a huge part of my past. So I'm really, really passionate about this topic of safety. I've had to do tremendous work around it myself, and there's more connections between safety and power than we all know or give it credit for. And so I hope to illuminate this concept for some of you because it comes up in all of my client sessions, in anything related to feminine power, in success, all of that. The bottom line is we have to feel safe enough to start doing the things that we need to do to feel worthy of receiving all the abundance that we want and ask for, right? So, riffing on that, I don't have anything prepared. I'm just here compelled to share this message. So please excuse the informalness of this video, but hopefully it will serve you. So I was just on a coaching call with my client, and we talked about the fact that she is having a hard time doing the things that she thinks that she should be, that she wants to do, and that she is also having a hard time connecting with people. So in other words, she avoids letting herself be seen or going deep, being really intimate in relationship, so that it doesn't really deepen and give her that fulfillment that she's looking for. And the same with herself. So she doesn't deepen into those things that would bring her more fulfillment, such as, exercise, going to yoga, meditating, whatever it is that is the good stuff that we want to be doing, that we just seem to not do. We fall short in, we have these big goals and expectations, and then we just don't do them. Or we want to connect with people and be seen, but we just don't allow ourselves. Or we want to be this really great, powerful leader, but we keep sabotaging ourselves in some way. And all of this has to do with safety. And it all stems from childhood, as most things do. and so what I'm here to share is part of that safety can be cultivated in a simple concept of consistency. And see, what's happening is, of course, we don't feel safe in our body and our being until we have enough evidence, and until we feel cared for, and until we feel capable and confident in ourselves to create what we want to do. So in terms of not doing what we think we should, of not connecting with people, of not opening ourselves up, of holding ourselves back, the way to cultivate safety is through consistency of some kind, of any kind at all. It doesn't have to relate to the issue that you might not feel safe in or might not feel connected to. Any sort of consistency at all is going to help you learn to rely on yourself. And it's going to ingrain the habit in you to honor your needs and your feelings of some kind. And the biggest way to do this is through routines, or what I like to call rituals, because I'm really triggered by the word routine, as some of you may also be. And when I think of being triggered by that, I think of my childhood. I moved around a lot. My mother worked a lot, so she wasn't with me too often. We didn't have any solid routines at all in place. So my rebel in me was always very present, because I was like, no, I'm not going to have routines. I can have all the freedom I want. I can do what I want. And what was happening is I didn't feel safe. So I wanted to act out, and I wanted to find that fulfillment and that freedom through rebellious acts like being scattered and being anything but routine. So doing a whole bunch of things. And then I realized, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. Or, that whole mentality of I'm going to do what I want, that rebel mentality hasn't been serving me. And instead, what I found was the light quality, because the rebel is more of the shadow side. The light quality to the rebel is the innovator. And for someone to feel like they can innovate a way of being, a process, anything at all, they have to feel safe and well cared for, right? So again, it all comes back to safety. And so routine, think about children. Routine is what makes children feel most safe. It's what they learn to rely on. It's what comforts them when things are tough, because they know mom is going to put them to bed at this time, and they're going to read a bedtime story, and they can at least know that that's happening in the midst of all this other uncertainty. So in other words, creating certainty wherever you can will help with you becoming comfortable with uncertainty. And that uncertainty is where we get caught up, because we think we have to control everything to make certainty, to make our life certain. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to push hard. I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to push. I'm going to burn out. It's okay, because this is I have a high work ethic, or I'm just going to push through these feelings, or I don't know what it is. But the point is cultivating that consistency and being able to rely on yourself with the fact that you can cultivate consistency and routine and ritual will allow you to learn to trust yourself more. And then in turn will allow you to rest in these consistent practices, these routines, when things are in transition, when it's uncertain, when it's challenging, when your character is tested. So you'll need to have these routines and the consistent practice of some kind to eventually be able to do the things that you actually want to do, and actually just do the harder things, if that makes sense. So I say ritual because routine just doesn't hit home for me. Mm-hmm. So I like to use the word ritual. And that just means to me making something consistent with more meaning. So making a consistent habit have way more meaning. So for example, brushing your teeth, how could you make that a ritual? Or meditation, how can you make, that is a ritual, but how can you make it a ritual? Or how does that turn into a ritual for you? And how much more meaning does it have now that it's called a ritual? Or maybe it's reading for self-development. How can that become a ritual? Meaning, how can you make the practice, the things that you do around it, the way you make yourself feel, the way you set up the environment that you're in, the way that you relate to it and think about it? How can you put all these pieces together so that it becomes a ritual, and a ritual of meaning and an inspiring session of growth for you? So in other words, become more consistent in something. I wouldn't pick the hardest thing first. Pick easy things. Make it more meaningful by including your surroundings, your environment, your meaning of the ritual. So maybe you want to write something down of how it means more to you, or how you can reframe it in a more exciting and inspirational way. And then make sure it's in your calendar, whatever it is. So if you're starting a new habit, it's got to be in your calendar or you're never going to do it. It doesn't exist. So if you're, we don't think about brushing our teeth anymore because it's such a habit. But when we were learning to brush our teeth, our moms and dads were like, did you brush your teeth today? Did you brush your teeth? Did you brush your teeth? No? Yes? So we have to have that reinforcement there. And that's what the calendar does, and set reminders. So to wrap it up, how to cultivate safety is consistency. And a way to do that is to bring in more ritual into your life. And again, it doesn't have to be in the area that you're looking to grow or expand. It could simply be in any area at all. For example, a meditation practice, which can be considered a ritual, will serve all parts of you, from personal to work to intimate relationships. It will just help your being. So think about that and think about how you can create more consistency in your life through ritual, and how that would make an impact on you and your future. And finally, with that being said, how can you set yourself up with the support you need to continue this? If you need a little help, I have a guide for you. It's called Michelle's Morning Meditation. Very simple. And it's what I started doing 3.5 years ago when I was resistant to routine, especially in the morning, because I wanted to check email and see what people had to say to me. And it wasn't until I got intimate with myself first thing in the morning that things started to shift. And through that consistency, I found so many other parts of myself that didn't relate to meditation or didn't relate to personal development or work or personal or anything specific, but it just helped me learn to rely on myself and have more confidence and power and safety, the feeling of safety, because I could wake up and I know what I was going to do. So I created that certainty, and it trickled into every area of my life. So that's just an example. So if you'd like this guide, my guide for you to help you in the way of a morning ritual, morning routine, go to michellepowell.me/morning meditation. And that's where you can download that as a gift from me. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to know what you thought. Was this helpful? Was this enlightening? What was valuable for you, or what came to your mind when I was talking about all this, about safety and consistency and routine? And are you triggered by any of it? Were you not? Did you already know all this? I would just love to know. I'd love to connect with you. And that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.